You were told to work hard, pay your taxes, and retire at 65 on the state pension. The problem? The state pension age is now rising to 67. The average pension pot in the UK is still nowhere near enough for most people, and real wages have been shrinking for 3 years. The old plan is broken. Today, we're going to build a new one that actually works in 2026. This isn't a video about getting rich. It's a spreadsheet-style walkthrough of exactly how someone in their 20s, 30s, or 40s, earning £30,000 or £80,000, can build a credible path to early retirement using the tools the UK tax system actually gives you. Before we talk about strategy, you need a target. That target has a name, your FIRE number. FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. Your FIRE number is the total investment portfolio needed so that you can withdraw from it indefinitely without it running out. The standard method uses the 4% rule, originally from US research but widely adapted for UK planning. Divide your annual spending by 0.04. If you want to spend £31,300 a year, the PLSA's 2026-27 benchmark for a moderate lifestyle, your FIRE number is £782,500. For a comfortable retirement, spending £43,900, you need just under £1.1 million. There's a crucial UK-specific twist. At state pension age, 67, you'll receive up to £12,548 per year from the state. That reduces the income your portfolio needs to generate. Many UK FIRE planners use a two-phase number, a larger pot needed before 67 and a smaller drawdown rate after the state pension kicks in. In the UK, where you save is almost as important as how much you save. There are 3 main vehicles: the pension, usually a SIPP or workplace scheme, the ISA, and the General Investment Account or GIA. The pension gives you the best tax relief, 20% for basic rate payers, 40% for higher rate, but locks your money away until age 55 today, rising to 57 in April 2028. The ISA gives you tax-free growth and completely flexible access at any age. The GIA has no tax advantages but no contribution limits or access restrictions either. For early retirement, the standard UK approach stacks these in a specific order. Max your pension for the tax relief, then max your ISA allowance, £20,000 per year, to build a bridge you can live off between retirement and pension access age. Any surplus beyond both allowances goes into a GIA. This structure separates the question of when can I retire from when can I access my pension, and that separation is the key that unlocks early retirement in the UK. If you're in your 20s, the single most powerful thing you can do for early retirement costs almost nothing. Start now and don't stop. The mathematics of compound interest means that £1 invested at 25 is worth approximately 4 times as much at 65 as £1 invested at 35. That's not a slight edge. That's the difference between retiring at 50 and retiring at 65. On a £30,000 salary in your mid-20s, auto-enrollment puts you into a workplace pension automatically. Your employer must contribute at least 3%. The minimum combined contribution is 8%, but that will only build a pot of around £115,000 to £140,000 by retirement age. That's not nearly enough. The upgrade: use salary sacrifice to contribute more. At £30,000, every extra £1,000 you sacrifice into your pension costs you only £800 in take-home pay because you save income tax and national insurance. Open a stocks and shares ISA alongside your pension. Even £100 a month at 22 becomes over £175,000 by 55 at a 7% average annual return. Your mission in your 20s is to build the habit, not hit the target. The target takes care of itself if the habit holds. Your 30s are the financial pressure test.
Mortgage payments, childcare, which averages over £14,000 a year per child nationally, and the general weight of life make it genuinely harder to save aggressively. But this is also when your salary starts to compound in a different way: career progression. The key move in your 30s is to ring-fence any salary increases before they get absorbed into lifestyle. Every time you get a pay rise, redirect half of it directly into your pension and ISA before you ever see it in your current account. This is called salary creep prevention, and it's how people on entirely ordinary incomes end up with extraordinary pension pots. On a £50,000 salary in your mid-30s, you are close to the 40% tax threshold, meaning pension contributions via salary sacrifice now give you 40p of tax relief for every £1 contributed, plus the NI saving. A £500 per month pension contribution via salary sacrifice costs you only around £290 in actual take-home pay. That asymmetry is extraordinary. Use it. If you have a lifetime ISA, available if you're under 40, you receive a 25% government bonus on up to £4,000 per year, capped at a £1,000 annual bonus. It's not for everyone, but for those with no immediate property plans, it's free money toward a bridge fund. If you're in your 40s and feel like you've started late, I want to be very direct. You have not missed the boat. The maths shifts, but the tools get more powerful. By your 40s, your salary is typically at or near its peak. This is when two tax levers become genuinely transformative. First, if you're a 40% taxpayer, every pound of pension contribution gives you a 40% tax relief, meaning a £10,000 pension contribution only costs you around £6,000 in real terms if you claim back the relief through self-assessment. For some, the employer NI saving on salary sacrifice adds another 13.8% on top. Second, pension carry forward. If you haven't used your full annual allowance in any of the previous 3 tax years, you can carry the unused allowance forward and make a lump sum contribution in the current year, potentially contributing up to £180,000 in a single year if you have sufficient earnings and unused allowances. This is the tool that lets a 45-year-old sprint the last decade of accumulation. On a realistic late start scenario, someone at 45 with £90,000 already saved, contributing £800 a month gross into their pension, can expect, at a 5% net return, to reach approximately £450,000 by 57. That's a credible number for a moderate retirement when combined with the state pension from 67. Let's make this concrete with 2 specific income comparisons, because the strategy genuinely differs depending on where you sit on the salary ladder.
Here's the problem no one explains clearly enough. Even if you've built a substantial pension, you cannot touch it until 55 today and 57 from April 2028. So if you want to retire at 45 or 50, your pension is legally locked away for years. What do you live on in the meantime? The answer is the ISA bridge. You build a separate pot of ISA wealth invested in a stocks and shares ISA that you live off from retirement until you can access your pension. The ISA has 0 access restrictions. You can withdraw as much as you like, whenever you like, with no tax on gains or income. The practical planning is straightforward. Work out how many years your bridge needs to cover. Retiring at 50 means a 7-year bridge before pension access at 57. At a moderate spending level of £31,300 per year, you need roughly £219,000 in your ISA bridge, adjusting upwards slightly to allow for inflation and market fluctuation. During those bridge years, your pension keeps growing, untouched, potentially adding significant value before you ever draw on it. 4 traps that derail more UK early retirement plans than anything else. Trap 1. Ignoring national insurance gaps. The full state pension requires 35 qualifying years of NI contributions. If you stop working at 45, you may only have 22 or 23 years of contributions, leaving you short. The solution: check your NI record at gov.uk right now and consider paying voluntary Class 3 contributions to fill any gaps. Each year costs around £824 in 2026-27 and could add £370 per year to your state pension for life, a roughly 2-year payback. Trap 2. Underestimating healthcare costs. The NHS is free at the point of use, but dental care, prescriptions, and the potential for private treatment can add up meaningfully in early retirement. Budget for this explicitly. Trap 3. Sequence of returns risk. Retiring into a market crash in your first year of drawdown can permanently damage a portfolio. Hold 1 to 2 years of spending in cash or near cash within your ISA so you don't have to sell equities at depressed prices in year 1. Trap 4. The pension access age trap. Anyone planning to retire at 55, assuming they can access their pension, check now whether your specific scheme carries transitional protection from the 2028 age rise to 57. Many don't. Every strategy in this video can be distilled into 5 concrete actions. 1. Check your state pension forecast and NI record today. 2. Set up or maximize a salary sacrifice pension contribution. Target at minimum 15% combined with your employer. 3. Open and contribute to a stocks and shares ISA every year. Treat it as your bridge fund. 4. If you're over 35, project your FIRE number and compare it to where you currently are. 5. If you're a 40% taxpayer, claim your higher rate pension relief through self-assessment every year without fail. Early retirement in the UK is achievable. The tools exist. The tax system actually makes them remarkably powerful when you use them together. The only thing that stops most people is not knowing the system well enough to use it. Now you do.